depressed anymore. Like my resting state is just neutral now rather than constant suffering. So
You called us, you got out of the psych ward, and you called us. Do you remember this? The day after I created the story, the mythology. Do you remember us talking about this? The computer and the people, the person in the other galaxy, and the people watching, the scientists watching after they found the equation which described reality. Do you remember this? Do you remember the story?
briefly. No, I remember the one where he like picks up the thing and he sees like every possible thing.
Okay, that's the orb. But the one I'm talking about right now is we were here's how it goes. Scientists on Earth, they find the omni-life equation, right? And the omni-life equation holds it essentially is the equation at the base of reality. It's the equation, and from this equation stems not only our reality, but our reality is only one possible outcome of this equation. And every other possible reality which could happen is also a possible outcome of this equation. And when we run this equation through a computer, this computer is going to simulate every possible reality. So this computer is now essentially going to take the role of God. And humanity, they begin to watch this simulation unfold so that they can gain enlightenment. They don't really know that at the time. They just think they're going to try and gain as much knowledge as possible by watching these alternative realities unfold to use it within their own reality. In this process, obviously, they discover enlightenment. Some of the things they find along the way, for instance, is one guy, and this guy, he basically he holds my entire philosophy. This guy, he's a Sithriel, right? He holds my entire philosophy, and this society which created the computer, which just simulates all these realities, they're going to see him, right? Imagine they put on VR goggles, or maybe they get transmitted directly into the experience, or they watch it on a TV, however you imagine the medium. I don't really care. You imagine that they're looking in on him. He's living out his reality. And that basically, through this man explaining my religion to his society, which is basically going to be an alien society, it's going to be like the version of us combined into one person. So, this one person in an alien society is going to explain our religion to his society. He's going to make his philosophy and his religion, he's going to try and get it out to the people, which is exactly what we're doing, right? And so, essentially, this guy is going to be a substitute for us, and he's going to be in another dimension. And the people who have created the simulation, which simulates all realities, are going to watch him, and they're going to watch him and his philosophy unfold, and they're going to learn in their reality, and they're going to implement it in their reality. And it's going to, they're going to explore other realities along the way, learn other things before they get to this man, but they're eventually going to get to him, and, that'll be the end. And so basically, my entire philosophy and all my vocabulary will be explained by this guy, and the rest of my philosophy about the nature of God and the nature of every reality and the nature of us being the equation or everything fundamentally, right? Everything at the source, or, you know what I mean? The thing which stretches out into all things, that's all going to be explained in the story, which takes place in a sci-fi setting, right? And I figured out the story and I finished the story the day before you got out of the psych ward. I don't know if it was the first, second, or third time, but it was a couple months back. And then you were actually, I swear to God, I hope this have it on recording. You were kind of explaining the basic premises to me before I explained it to you. It was an insane synchronicity. You got out of the psych ward the day before it happened. It was insane. Well, also, you've just gotten out of the psych ward the day before I created the new system or the new framework, which has just completely concluded the entire framework series. Like, I'm done with frameworks. I completed them the day before we called just a couple weeks ago. So to me, like, I'll never believe in synchronicities because I don't ever believe in anything. But
I want to talk about.
what,
Oh,
what
keep going, keep going.
I
I'm
was just
just
gonna say
pressed
that.
because my phone did. What'd you say?
Oh, what percentage is your phone at?
Oh, it's at like 17, but at like 13, it sometimes just turns off because of the shitty phone.
Fuck.
But
Damn.
I just wanted to talk about synchronicities real quick. So when I was homeless, I was like, I got drugged with like PCP, I think. So I don't know if I was psychotic or if I was tripping, but I was like just walking down the street and I would just talk to like strangers. And I was just like, because when I'm psychotic, I have like no fear of anything. I have no social anxiety, I have no insecurity. So I just like, I'm just in God mode, and it's like everyone's like an NPC, and I'm just in like creative mode, and I just talk to everyone and do whatever I want. So like, but I had like the strangest interactions. Like this old like Hispanic grandma just started talking to me, and she like just described like she basically described me to myself, and I was like, she was like, yeah, I heard about this boy that came from like really far away with a friend, and then his friend abandoned him, and he had long hair, and he was riding the bus, and I was like, how do you know that? I don't know. It was like weird, like psychedelic like magic shit happens, especially in the psych wards too. Like the weird ass shit happens. Like I don't know, it's just really weird synchronicities. But I don't know if it's mental illness or synchronicities because you never know, you know?
So what I would say in the solution to that, because to me it's the same thing. Where, so like, for instance, here's the perfect example. The other day, me and my siblings were all sitting on the trampoline, and the light. There was a light across the street. It turns on every night, and this time it turned on white, and we just all happened to look at it. And I asked the question, is that normally white or did they replace the bulb? And then my sister said, I think they replaced the bulb. You're right, that's weird. And then as while we were saying that, as we were watching it, it changed from white to orange. And I was like, I've never seen that before. That has never happened before. That is crazy. What are the odds of that? That must have been synchronicity. And then my father walks over and asks him about it. He was like, yeah, it's probably just it warming up. And I was like, yeah, obviously that's what it was. Of course it wasn't a synchronicity. And I feel like there are a lot of synchronicities which fall into that category. However, I based on my life experiences, it does not make sense from a rational perspective that everything I've experienced, every synchronicity that I've experienced was just um was just that was just, or I suppose I should say, at least it is very statistically unlikely. Now, whenever you take into consideration, like whenever you start going to quantum physics and you say, okay, well, every possible reality exists, and there are realities in which certain synchronicities are going to happen to you that are going to seem, you know what I mean, that are going to seem targeted at you, but that's only actually because that reality has to exist in the amalgamation of all the other realities, right? And that very well may be true. But what I have to say is that the way that you target this and the way that you use this is you say, I only believe in synchronicities as far as they can get shit done, right? You just go revert back to the maximum efficiency principle. So I don't believe in synchronicities. However, in any case in which I could possibly gain my goals by believing in synchronicities, like things like manifestation or stuff like that, right? I'm going to believe in it. So like from now on, like if I believe, like for instance about winning the UFC belt, from now on I'm going to believe that I'm going to win the UFC belt, even though I don't actually fundamentally believe that. I believe it from the maximum efficiency principle, which is just as good. I feel it. I feel in my stomach. I believe it. I believe I'm going to take the belt. I believe I'm going to change society. But I only believe those from a rational level of understanding that not only cognitively, because it's been proven, right? Your confidence levels, your idea of how you're going to get it done, manifestation, visualization, these things, just from a perfectly like a psychological perspective, make you more likely to get things done because you're more like I don't know how to explain it other than when two people are racing and one of them thinks they're going to lose and the other one thinks they're going to
I
win.
know what you're saying.
Well, we should probably continue talking about what we were talking about. Um, which was, yeah. Do you have any questions about it? Do you understand it? Like, are you using it day to day? If not, like, what are you running into?
Um, yeah, I guess it's just I guess so let's say I'm at work and I'm not feeling it. Um, I consider maximum efficiency, and so I guess what it leads me to is this uh, consider this thought texture, this consideration of every bad feeling that you have about it could go away if you just like it's just there. I understand it,